Hello friends. In this lecture, we will discuss about the topic enzymes, and from the enzymes we have to concentrate on the subpoint, that is factors affecting enzyme activity. Myself S. A. Deshmukh welcome you all in the lecture series Learn and Listen Botany. In this lecture, we will discuss about factors affecting enzyme activity. There are certain factors which affects the enzyme activity, and they are substrate concentration, enzyme concentration, product concentration, temperature, pH, and certain metal ions. All these factors, they affect the rate of enzyme activity. Now we will discuss one by one. First, we will study about substrate concentration. That means factors affecting enzyme activity, substrate concentration. First, we have to know what does substrate means. In simple words, substrate is a substance or a chemical species upon which enzyme acts to form a product. That means, in simple words, substrate get converted into product by the action of an enzyme. Again, we are familiar with simple equation, that is nothing but the E plus S, it forms ES complex, and ES complex again get converted into P, that means product, and enzyme is liberated. In between E plus S and ES complex, K1 and K2, these are the intermediate rate constants or velocity constants, and in between ES complex and product formation, K3 is the rate constant. Now, this is the word-wise representation of a reaction or an enzymatic reaction. Now, concentrate on the diagram. In the corner, you are observing a cross-like structure. The structure is blue in color, and this structure represents structure of an enzyme. Now, concentrate on the same structure, that means structure of an enzyme. In earlier lectures or presentations, we have stated that, or we have studied that among the whole surface area of an enzyme, near about 5% comprises of active sites, or active site consists or comprises about 5% of the total surface area of an enzyme. In the same structure of an enzyme, we are now observing four active sites which are present at each corner or at four corners. This is the structure of an enzyme, and this structure, for our convenience, we have to consider that the structure of an enzyme consists four active sites. Again, substrate, it has been indicated by red color. They are four in number. ES complex, all the four substrates, they get connected with active site of an enzyme and they form ES complex. And later on, product is formed. Again, for our convenience, we have considered here that one substrate molecule form two product molecules. As four substrate molecules are there, eight product molecules are formed, and enzyme is again liberated. Now, here we have considered the simple or basic reaction. Four active sites are there on the structure of an enzyme, and with relation to four active sites, we have taken four substrates. But what will happen if the substrate number varies? That we will discuss on next slide. Here, concentrate on, first we will concentrate on diagram B, capital B. As per the previous slide, capital B diagram is same. That means enzyme has four active sites. There are four substrate molecules. Four substrate molecules are utilized by four active sites of an enzyme. They form ES complex, and for our convenience, we have taken that one substrate molecule forms two product molecules, as 4 substrate molecules are utilized, 4 substrate molecules, they will get converted into 8 product molecules. This is the reaction in capital B. Now concentrate on capital A. Same enzyme is there with 4 active sites, but the number of substrate is less. Here we have mentioned only 2 substrate molecules. What will happen? As there are 2 substrate molecules, but enzyme has 4 active sites, only 2 active sites will get connected with the 2 substrate molecules, and 2 active sites will remain as it is. Now again, 2 substrate molecules, they will form 4 product molecules. Please remember that one substrate molecule for form 2 product molecules. This we have taken for our convenience. In capital A, as the 2 substrate molecules are there, 4 product molecules are formed. Now concentrate on capital C. Before that, if one has to study the intermediate step in between capital A and B, what will happen? Just increase the number of substrate molecules by 1. Now enzyme will be same with 4 active sites. Suppose substrate molecules are 3 in number. What will happen? One active site will get remain as it is, and the products will be formed. They will be 6 in number as 3 substrates are utilized. Now concentrate on capital C. Same enzyme with similar active sites, that means 4 in number. Here we have just increased the number of substrate molecules, and the substrates here are 8 in number. If you consider the substrate from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and so on, what will happen? As the enzyme has only 4 active sites, only 4 substrate molecule will be utilized for the formation of ES complex, and 8 product molecules will be formed. Now just correlate all these diagrams or reactions A, B and C. Which reaction will be with net efficiency in terms of product formation as well as substrate consumption. Capital A products are less, so we will discuss only capital B and C. If you observe the product number in both the reactions B and C, we are observing that 8 products molecules are there. That means in terms of product formation, both the reactions have same efficiency, but the most efficient reaction will be capital B, because the substrate molecules, they are not wasted during this reaction. If you compare the reaction C, 4 substrate molecules, they have not been utilized during this reaction and they get wasted. That's why capital B reaction has net efficiency than the capital A as well as capital C. Now this is the diagrammatic representation. Michaelis and Minton studied the same representation in the form of graphical manner or graphical representation. On x-axis, velocity or rate of the reaction, it has been indicated, and y-axis mention the substrate concentration. Now what will happen if you increase the substrate concentration? Capital A reaction, 2 substrate molecules are there, product will be formed, that means rate of the reaction, product will be formed 4 in number. Now by addition of 1 into 2, that means 3 substrate molecules, product will be formed 6 in number, that means rate of the reaction is increasing. Now substrate molecules are 4 in number, products are formed 8 in number. That means again velocity has been increased. Now what happens? As the enzyme has 4 active sites, if you increase the substrate molecules than the 4, that means 5, what will happen? Products, they will form only 8. 6 substrate molecules, products will be formed 8. 7 substrate molecules, product will be formed 8. 8 substrate molecules, again the product formation will be 8 in number. Why this happens? Because active sites on this enzyme has 4 in number. Active sites on this enzyme are 4 in number. That's why if you go on plotting this graph at certain point onwards, we will obtain a straight line, and this straight line will indicate the maximum velocity. If you intersect the x-axis from this point, we will obtain the Vmax, that means maximum velocity. Michaelis-Menten constant or Briggs and Halden's constant or Km, it can be calculated from Vmax. Just divide Vmax by 2, we will obtain Vmax by 2 on x-axis. From Vmax by 2 point, just intersect the graphical representation, and from that point just intersect y-axis, and we will obtain the point on y-axis. This will be the Km. Now Km means what? Km is nothing but the amount of substrate concentration required to produce half of maximum velocity. It can also be calculated as Km is equal to K2 plus K3 divided by K1, where K2, K3 and K1 are rate constants. On the basis of this graphical representation, V or velocity of enzyme action or reaction can be calculated as Vmax divided by Km plus S. Km is constant and characteristic feature of each and every enzyme. High Km indicates less affinity between enzyme and substrate, while low or less Km indicates maximum affinity between enzyme and substrate. Remember one thing, Km is also called as Michaelis and Menten's constant or Briggs and Halden's constant, and very important, high Km indicates less affinity between E and S, and low Km indicates greater affinity between E and S. Next, factors affecting enzyme activity. Next factor is enzyme concentration. It is a very simple one. As we go on increasing the enzyme concentration, the rate of the reaction or velocity, it will get increased. That means enzyme activity is directly proportional to increase in enzyme concentration. Next factor, that is product concentration. Simple thing is that product accumulation tends to decrease in enzyme activity. Why such decrease occurs? Because product combines with the active sites of an enzyme and it forms a loose complex, thus activity is lower. Remember one thing, product get combined with active site of enzyme. Here active site of enzyme should have to be combined with substrate molecule. Instead of substrate molecule, due to more accumulation of the product loosely combines with the active sites of enzyme, and it affects the enzyme substrate complex number. As this number is reduced, enzyme activity is reduced. Next factor is temperature. Now, how will you define the term temperature? Simply, temperature, it is a measure of the hotness and coldness of an object. Enzyme activity is directly proportional to increase in temperature up to certain level. Up to certain level, these are the very important words in this statement. Each and every enzyme has its optimum temperature. Then optimum temperature means what? Optimum temperature is nothing but the temperature at which the enzyme show maximum activity. Most of the enzymes are active in between the temperature range of 30 degrees Celsius to 45 degrees Celsius. Beyond 45 to 50 degrees Celsius, the enzyme activity is lowered. Why this happens? Why enzyme activity get lowered beyond 45 to 50 degree Celsius temperature onwards? This happens due to denaturation in secondary and tertiary structures of the enzyme. This already we have discussed in previous lecture, that was enzyme structure. So secondary and tertiary structure denaturation leads to denaturation of the enzymes at higher temperature. Again, higher temperature or at highest temperature, the enzyme get killed or inactivated. There are certain exceptions of specific enzymes which are active at higher temperature. For example, Taq polymerase. You are familiar with this enzyme. This enzyme is utilized in PCR technique, and this enzyme has optimum range, or it show its activity above 72 degrees Celsius temperature. Again, one example is there, that is phosphokinase. Phosphokinase is, or phosphokinase has optimum pH of 100 degrees Celsius. So remember certain statements. Most of the enzymes, they are active in between 30 to 45 degrees Celsius. Each and every enzyme has its optimum temperature with relation to its activity. Next factor, that is pH. pH is nothing but the measure of hydrogen ion concentration of a solution. As per the temperature, each and every enzyme has optimum pH for its activity. Then optimum pH is nothing but the pH at which the enzyme show maximum activity. Most of the enzymes are active near about neutral pH, that means in between the pH range of 6 to 8. At extreme acidic or extreme basic pH, again the enzyme activity is lower due to denaturation of secondary and tertiary structure of the enzymes. At higher pH, the enzyme get inactivated. Again, there are certain exceptions. For example, enzyme pepsin, it is active at pH 2, and this pH 2, it ranges highly acidic pH. This is related to pepsin enzyme, and pepsin, this is digestive enzyme related with the digestive system. Then acid phosphatase, enzyme acid phosphatase, it has optimum pH of 3 to 5. And alkaline phosphatase, it has optimum pH in the range of 9 to 11. This is all about pH. The next factor which affects enzyme activity, that is cofactor or metal ions. Some enzymes requires certain cofactors in the form of metal ions for their activation, unless and until the metal ions are not get associated with the enzyme structure will not be formed completely. For that purpose, there is an equation, that is holo enzyme, that means complete enzyme is equal to apoenzyme plus cofactor. That means cofactors may be metal ions or coenzyme. Here we have to consider metal ions only. Certain examples of metal ions are Zn++. These are essential in the enzyme activity, specific enzyme activity. Zn++, Mg++, Mn++, Ca++, Co++, Na+, and so on. Specific examples of enzymes: cytochrome oxidase, it requires Cu++ for its proper activity. Enzyme arginase, it requires Mn++ for its proper activity. And if Cu++ is not there, cytochrome oxidase will not get activated. This is the simple sentence. That means that certain metal ions again affect the enzyme activity. Here we complete this topic. These are the certain references from where the points have been taken for our presentation. And in this lecture, we have studied only 6 points which affects the enzyme activity. They are substrate concentration, enzyme concentration, product concentration, temperature, pH, and certain metal ions which affect the enzyme activity. If you have any questions or query, you can contact to cell number, or you can also write to the given mail ID. Thank you very much.